Good morning, dear children. In this module, I am going to discuss about all the features of the different forms of market. That means perfect competitive market, imperfect competitive market, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and the oligopoly competition. Here we can see that is perfect competitive market. In this perfectly competitive market, what about the number of firms? It is infinite. That means large number of buyers and sellers are there in the perfectly competitive market. And here, if we compare with the monopolistic competition, many buyers and sellers are there, but not as much as in the perfect competition. Perfect competition means there is no limit for that. It is infinite, endless one. And what about the monopoly? The monopoly is entirely only one seller is there. Isn't it? Yes. So only one seller and large number of buyers are there in the monopoly. Then in the oligopoly market, we can see few firms are there. Understood? That is the few firms are there. I told you the oligoi means a few. Isn't it? So oligopoly means a few. Yes, firms are there in the oligopoly market. Then, what about the market power of the sellers, of the firms? That is also none. Why? I told you that as there are large number of buyers and sellers, nobody can influence the market price. So that's why the market power does not rest with any of the buyers or sellers. Then in the monopolistic competition, it's low. That means the firms can, yes, influence the price in a small manner. Less influence can be made by the firms in the monopolistic competition. And in the monopoly, I told you only one seller is there. So he is the dominant person and he can entirely all the 100% of the market share rests with him. That is more power rests with the monopolist. Then oligopoly, that is also relatively high. That means here there are only few firms are there. So they can, yes, they can influence the market. So market power relatively it is very high in the oligopoly. Then what about the elasticity of the demand? The elasticity of the demand in the perfectly competitive market is, what is that? The demand curve is perfectly elastic. It is, the demand curve is perfectly elastic means there will be a change in the demand curve according to the prices. So that is perfectly elastic in one. Then the demand curve, the complete changes can be there in the perfect competitive market. Then what about the monopolistic competition? It is highly elastic in one. That means it is not perfectly elastic, but it is highly elastic in one, especially in the long run, not in the short run, especially in the long run, it is highly elastic in one. Next, what about the monopoly? It is relatively inelastic. That is, it is relatively inelastic in the monopoly market also. Next, about the oligopoly market. What about the demand curve in the oligopoly market? That is relatively inelastic. That means no changes will be there in the demand curve according to the changing prices. That is relatively inelastic, means relatively means related with the prices. The demand will be inelastic in one. So that is the elasticity of the demand. Then product. What about the products in these markets? That is a product differentiation. That is, in this perfectly competitive market, I told you that homogeneous products are sold. So, no differentiation in the products. All are in uniform, in brand, in size, in color, its package, and entirely it is uniform in one. And what about the monopolistic competition? The product differentiation is very high, isn't it? That is, they are selling what? In the homogeneous, we can see little bit changes in that one. Then monopoly, what about the monopoly? It is, yes, monopoly, I told you that they are selling differentiated products. No similarities in any aspect. The size and color and package in brands, you can see it's entirely different one. Then in the oligopoly market, we can see less differentiation in the products. It's not more as compared to the other one. It's less differentiation we can see in the oligopoly. Then, what about the profits earned by all these firms in the different markets? In the perfectly competitive market, we can see the profit is, yes, no profit at all. That is, not excess profits, normal profits will be earned here. No excess profits. Then in the, which one? Monopolistic competition, in the short run and in the long run, according to that it varies. That is, excess profits will be earned in the short run and only the normal profits in the long run. Then in the oligopoly as well as in the monopoly market, in the monopoly market, more profits will be earned by the monopolist, because he is the one who determines the price and according to that he can earn more profits. And here also, the last one, oligopoly market also, they can earn more profits. Then efficiency is also more in the perfectly competitive market, but here in the, which one? Monopoly, less efficiency. And here in this monopoly market also, we can see the efficiency is, what is that? Yes, efficiency is more in this market. That efficiency is, yes, if we, in that oligopoly market, the efficiency is less, as well as in the, which one? Monopoly market also, in the oligopoly market also, no efficiency at all. Then what all the profit maximizing conditions? I told you in that my previous modules have explained about the determination of the prices and the profits. Here in the perfectly competitive market, the profit is maximized when P equals MR equals MC. That means where price exactly equals the marginal revenue, where it exactly equals the marginal cost. This is the profit maximizing condition of the perfectly competitive market. Then the second one is of the, what is that? Yes, the second market, is what is second market? Monopolistic competition. Here we can see where the marginal revenue exactly equals the marginal cost. This is the point where the profits are maximized in the which market? Yes, monopolistic competitive market. Then the third one in the oligopoly market. What about that one? Yes, we can see in the monopoly market where marginal revenue exactly equals the marginal cost. So, here in the monopolistic competition as well as in the monopoly, the same condition should be satisfied to earn the profit or maximize the profit. Which are they? The conditions where marginal revenue exactly equals marginal cost. At that point, the profits maximizing conditions. Then, in the oligopoly is also is of the other nature. So, children, here we can see the different features for the different markets also. Then the pricing power. I told you that in this first one, which is that is a perfect competitive market. The seller is the, what is that? He is a price taker and not a price maker. In a perfectly competitive market, the seller is the price taker. And in the monopolistic competitive market, he is a price setter. Who? The seller is a price setter. And in the which one? Monopoly market also, who is the price setter? Seller is the price setter, because he is the, I told you, he is the only one seller, so he can determines the prices. And the last one is of oligopoly. In the oligopoly market is also, there are only few sellers, they determines the prices. They among themselves, they decide and they determines the prices. And in the oligopoly also, the sellers are the price setters. So children, this is about that price determination and the various features of all these markets. So children, I hope all the features of these markets are clear for you. So thank you children for watching this video.